Let's make this the most entertaining arm wrestle imaginable.
How we plan on doing that?
I would actually pull you towards me and then make room to go for your face.
Or your throat.
It's gonna sound so weird, but when
You have to answer with a British accent.
Alright, this is gonna sound so weird, but when I was a kid, I would literally get into arguments and start doing a British accent because that isn't even what I said. You misperceived that.
Did I?
Yeah.
Sure.
You jumped off the bridge
I
with
did.
that one.
I'm like, oh, what's the point?
People understand it as I'm a black belt in Wing Chun Kung Fu. And so these are the final form is the double blades. I did a short film that I co-wrote, produced, and played in. It was called The Darkest Hour.
I am nothing. I am worthless.
This is something that I have never talked about publicly. I was a very sick kid. I actually almost died a few times.
Welcome to Barbells and Bourbon, Strength in Stories. I am your big, bald, bearded, barbell lifting, bourbon drinking son of a bitch, Sean. And joining me today is a barbell lifting, blade wielding, black belt wearing, badass bitch, Lydia Zagorski. How did I do?
Great.
Welcome to our home, Lydia.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Excited to talk to you. You are a multifaceted individual, to say the least.
Thank you.
Would you agree?
I would definitely agree.
Being that you do a lot of different things, and I kind of alluded to some of them with your amazing introduction, what is one assumption people make of you that isn't accurate?
Oh, wow. What a question.
Coming in hot.
An inaccurate assumption.
Like, are you judged, or do people assume that you are this type of person because of the things you do? Like, what are some things that you kind of hear that isn't really true?
I don't really hear a lot.
Really?
I don't really listen a lot. If
You don't listen to
people
the
are.
noise?
Like, I do my best not to listen to the noise.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, if someone doesn't know me and they're making assumptions, hopefully they have the chance to get to know me.
Yeah. And that's the point of this show, right? Is so I can get to know you, because let's face it, I know almost nothing about you except for what you do. I really don't know the type of person you are. The viewer, some are going to know you, but I'd say most don't know you at all either. So we're going to get to know each other together, and it's going to be amazing. And you should like the video and subscribe to the channel, because it's completely free, or Lydia is going to cut you. Or something like that. But anyway, Lydia, yeah, the point of the show is to let you tell your story. I want to know about you as a person. I want to know the things you do, why you got into all the things you do. And I want you to also educate the viewer, inspire the viewer. And if you have a message to kind of start out with that you want to send home, what would that be?
Oh, yes. So this all sounds wonderful. I would definitely say inspiration and perseverance are my message goals.
Yeah.
Like through and through.
And you've know that from experience?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Tons of experience, especially in perseverance, just overcoming the odds in so many different situations in my life. And then inspiration is something that I've received from so many individuals, and it's something that I just genuinely hope to convey to others.
So you've been knocked down before and you failed before?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah?
All the time.
Well, I want to learn about some of those times, because a lot of people are afraid to talk about the failures because it makes them maybe look weak. But those failures is what builds us, and we learn from those mistakes, and it makes us a better person in the end. So if you're open to it, I want to talk about those failures too at some point.
Absolutely.
All
yeah.
right. Well, first, I want to kind of step back in time. I want to learn about Lydia from childhood. That's where our foundations are built. So, where did you grow up, Lydia?
So Because I'm an actress, I won't disclose where I grew up, but I will say that it was a very, very rough neighborhood.
Really?
I will, yes.
Can you elaborate at all? Without giving
Um,
away the location, just tell me
yeah,
why it was rough.
it was just, there were, it just seemingly a very hopeless place and not a great place for kids to grow up, especially, and um, a lot of people got shot there, just things like that,
So you were seeing that as a kid. That was
Yeah.
your childhood and what you
Yeah.
remember of it.
Yeah.
What did that do to you?
Just being surrounded by that kind of stuff. I was always an overthinker type of child, and by the time I was 5 years old, I had a foundation of what I kind of wanted. Like, I knew that if I took certain routes, I would be getting the results that everyone else around me, like the adults, were getting, and so I really made the decision to make different choices at that age.
Age 5?
Yeah, I remember the moment. Yeah.
Tell me about that moment.
Yeah. So I was sitting on a bus and I was looking out the window, and I just was thinking about choices that my parents made, and I was just emotionally overwhelmed, and I just in that moment made the decision that I was going to make different choices.
Are you able to dive into some of the choices that your parents made that were not good choices?
Probably. I don't want
That's
to
fine.
get into that.
Okay.
But
So you decided to take a better path.
yes.
Okay. So you were living in, we'll say maybe a impoverished area, or I don't want to say a ghetto, but a bad area. What was school like for you?
Well, I was always the odd kid out. I've always been extremely strong-willed and expressionate, and I always had like one or two friends, but I was just always the different kid, the odd kid, I just tried to embrace more positive aspects of life, and I was quite a bit more mature than my peers. So, yeah.
How did your friends look at you? Were you, I don't say bullied, but did you have a hard time making friends because you were so different?
Yes, I definitely did.
And that didn't make you want to change into a different person. You were confident with who you were.
At every point in my life, I've always known who I am and what I stand for. And whether people wanted to be my friend or not, that's on them. That isn't on me. And I've never wanted to change. I have, wished that people would just love me as I am and accept me as I am. But definitely, I am who I am, and I accept that.
That takes a very strong will. I know
Yes.
I was a kind of like a chameleon in school. I just wanted to be liked. Meanwhile, you were so steadfast in who you were. You were like, I don't really care, more or less, who likes me, right?
Right. I wanted everyone to love me and like me,
But
but
that's not reality.
I refuse to be anything other than myself.
Did you carry that into adulthood?
Oh yeah.
Still that person?
I mean, yes, but it doesn't. Some days it affects me more than others.
Is it to the point where you're stubborn?
What do you mean?
Like, you're not going to be defeated? Is it like an inner competition that you're just not going to change who you are?
So, yes. And to the extent where I am my greatest competition, like as an actress, as a martial artist, as a person, no one outside of me is my competition. I am my greatest competition. Though I admire people who are like quote unquote ahead of me, or like, in
Sure.
more advanced positions. And that just shows that it can be reached, like greater heights can be reached. And that I fully embrace. But I am my greatest competition, and I would say I'm stubborn in a sense that no one's gonna change me. But that said, I know change is an ever persistent part of life, and in order to grow and learn as a person in those facets, I'm willing to change no matter how painful, as long as it's through growth.
Okay. I like how you ended that, because if you are stubborn enough and you are refusing to change, you might be missing out on some amazing opportunities. So I like how you put that little icing on there.
Yeah.
And I know that you're married, and I'm curious later to know how this stubborn side of you carried into your relationship and what your marriage is like. If you want to dive into that later, it's up to you, but we'll get to that point whenever we do.
Okay.
Did you enjoy school?
So I'm actually the first person in my family to go to school and graduate and go to college and graduate. I'm the first generational person to do that. And I did not enjoy school. Though I love learning. I'm constantly learning. It wasn't a very the environment wasn't great for me, because I am very much like an artist through and through to the core of my being, and that's not always the case in school.
Yeah, the curriculum does not cater to that.
No.
Yeah.
So though I ended up doing very well, I didn't enjoy it, but I will say that my teachers, there were some teachers who to this day, like, they had believed in me as an actor, an artist, and like they had given me chances, and I'm still in connection with them. So
That's fantastic.
like they certainly inspired me as educators, and they were like my role models when I was in school.
That's amazing. Well, you left a positive impact on them then.
I hope
Well,
so.
it sounds like it. If they're willing to keep in touch with you after all these years,
Yeah.
you did something right. Because I
hope
don't think
so.
that's very common. Being that you were the first to graduate college in your family, did that make you feel proud, or did that kind of add some pressure to yourself to continue that success?
Oh, anyone that knows me knows that I'm extremely competitive and passionate. Extremely. And it just added more, I don't want to say pressure, but it just enhanced my will to want to strive for greater.
Yeah, it gave you a taste of what the future could
Yes.
have for you.
Yeah.
And just made you want to keep climbing towards it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what did you do out of college? Did you start working? Did you continue your education? What did you do?
So I had like odd jobs. I was continuing to build like my personal mindset of self-worth, and which kind of ties into martial arts, and I was continuing that, and I had always wanted to pursue acting, but I didn't believe that I was good enough, not good enough at acting, but just as a human being. I know it sounds super sad, but it just was a part of my thought process and my belief system, and it was something that I was working very diligently to just shed so that I could accept every facet of that. And so then I started pursuing acting in film, because I did start out theater trained, which is one of the teachers. I was cast as one of the lead roles, and
Okay.
she really believed in me, and I won the role over all the high schoolers, and I just went up there and did my thing, and she saw it and just cultivated that. And but yes,
So what did you do? What was your thing that you got up there and did?
I actually wrote my own monologue, and the role was for the Wicked Witch of the West. And I wrote my own monologue, and I went up there, and it was of a witch. And so I just poured my heart out, and I was cast as the part.
Do you remember any of it? That would be awesome. Come on, be the Wicked Witch.
Well, that was like the stereotypical like Wizard of Oz Wicked Witch. And then like Elphaba is one of my favorite roles, and just how like I mean, I'm sure like I don't know if you've seen Wicked the musical, not the film, but the actual musical.
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Like the way they had painted this character to be this horrible person, and she genuinely was doing the right thing, and everyone just shunned her because she was different. I'm like, I feel it
Spoke to you.
so much.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you said that you didn't really have any confidence in your abilities. You had some insecurities?
So I had confidence, but I struggled with like self-worth and insecurities, like being good enough.
Yeah.
And
You think that stemmed from childhood and the
oh
environment
yeah,
you were in?
oh
Okay.
100%. Oh my god, 100%. You know, the first time I ever felt loved was when I got my dog, and I that was the first time I ever felt unconditionally loved.
What age were you?
I was
You don't have to be precise. Were you a teenager?
Yeah,
Okay. So you,
like
went,
like 12, 13.
so you went that long without feeling love.
Yeah,
Did that harden you?
I don't think it did, which is just something that's the thing about me. Like people have said, like one of the craziest compliments I received, someone was like, they said, wow, with who you are, I would think that you were given like ice cream cones your whole childhood. And I was like, wow, that is such a nice compliment, because I don't know, I'm extremely empathetic, and I don't know if I'm still trying to decide whether it's like a strength or a weakness, because I just feel everything I've gone through has made me feel so much deeper for people,
Yeah.
just of all walks of life.
You're kind of like a hopeless romantic, but with like empathy. You're just like waiting for people to like come around. You know what I mean? In a way.
In a way.
Yeah.
I don't need them to come around, but
Right.
if they do, it's nice.
Okay. So you said that that person thought that you were getting ice cream cones and stuff and
Yeah.
lived like the picture perfect life.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're like dodging bullets. Right?
I mean, I wasn't
I'm just
personally
saying.
like actual, but there were a lot of things
Bad
that
environment, yeah.
it's okay. It made me stronger.
Yeah. Why do you have blades sitting in front of you, Lydia? Is that to protect you?
Yes.
Because you do know we arm wrestle later.
Oh.
And you cannot use those weapons. It's against the rules. You would
Is
win
it?
by default.
I didn't read the rules, so I
No.
brought my blades to the party. Okay, so these are my custom blades. Can you see?
That is freaking badass.
I love them. So they were custom made, tailored to my height, my weight, my hand measurements, my arm measurements. So when you flip the blade, it should only go so far. They were sponsored by, I had Aaron. He is one of the owners of one of the world's largest weapons manufacturing companies, and he had sponsored these blades for a feature film that I created that I was doing a fundraising campaign for. And my initial one, it was all or nothing. I got just under 24,000. But then I had to take a step back because it was all or nothing. I didn't get to keep any of the funding, which was fine. Like that was actually, I learned, extremely exceptional for someone's first fundraising
Sure.
campaign. And so my goal was 47,000 to make it a fantasy action feature film. But I've taken a few steps back and I'm trying to rework my approach,
Okay.
because it's quite a big endeavor, and so I'm not certain if I'm just going to earn the money through getting cast in other jobs and saving up, or if I'm going to do another fundraising campaign. That's kind of at a standpoint at the moment.
Okay. Well, I want to get into acting at some point here, but those knives, is that because you like big knives, or is there a purpose why you have them?
Oh, so they're actually called the Bacham Do. They're the last form in the Wing Chun system. So the non-technical term is I've completed the system, but internationally people understand it as I'm a black belt in Wing Chun Kung Fu. And so these are the final form is the double blades. So that's what they are. So
Do you have
just a
videos
little
of you
more.
like working with them?
I do. You can see videos on my Instagram at Lydia Zagorski. I post a lot of my martial art videos on there. I have my actor's reel on there, and I have a lot of my fitness things on there. So those are kind of my three things that
Yeah.
I'm extremely passionate about.
Because you're like toying with those things, just talking to me
Yeah.
like it's completely natural.
15 years of martial art experience.
That's
so
crazy.
I'm still learning and growing, but I trained really hard.
Why did you get into martial arts?
Well, several reasons. One, I wanted to learn how to protect myself, which is one of the main ones. I'm a very small woman. I'm not very big.
You're petite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a smaller woman. I really wanted to learn how to protect myself, and then once I got into it, I just wanted to learn more discipline and just more like self-control and just learning. I love learning.
Yeah. And you feel like it's helped you with discipline?
Yes.
In what way?
Well, focus. So I used to disconnect and people call it zone out, but I would just completely disconnect and zone out all the time. It was a coping mechanism for dealing with life, and martial arts helped me hone in and be able to grow through traumas and pains. And so I guess that's the answer to a couple
Yeah.
different things.
So it's very constructive. And
Yes.
you say coping mechanism. We've talked at length about different coping mechanisms on the show from, some people get into drug abuse, alcohol abuse. They maybe are unfaithful in their marriages or relationships. They're searching for something that they're not getting. The list goes on, but you found a healthy coping mechanism.
Yeah, my main coping mechanisms were art. So I paint and draw, and I act and I sing and I do martial arts. So I really turn to all of the arts to cope with things. And I have my dog. there's no denying
no emotional
unconditional
support
love.
like a dog.
Yeah.
You met my two dogs when you got here.
They're
You
so
warned me.
cute.
You're like, I cannot.
did.
You're like, I'm excited to be on the show, but I can't wait to meet your dogs.
Like people that know me know that I love dogs. I think they're like the greatest gift to humanity. I mean,
couldn't
they
agree
are,
more.
right?
Yeah.
They truly are. They're so innocent and pure. They just love so unconditionally. They're just so precious.
You don't even have to really fight for it,
I know. That's the thing.
Or you leave the house for 5 minutes and you come back like you just got back from war.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, you're back.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just that level of love.
Yeah.
It's just so deep. It's just so pure.
It is. So acting. The first time that you kind of delve into acting, was that the high school?
It was middle school.
Middle school?
Yeah.
What made you think that you wanted to continue to do that?
Like continue to do it after school?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, It kind of wasn't a want. It's kind of a I have to. Like, I just know that it just makes me happy. And when I've tried to suppress it, I became very unhappy. And so I just decided that if this is a huge part of my calling, then I'm just going to go for it.
You mentioned that wicked role and how you really saw yourself in that character. What other characters have you played that you really saw yourself in?
Um, well, so when I transitioned from theater to film, I did a short film that I co-wrote, produced, and played in. It was called The Darkest Hour. You can actually look it up and see it. But that was like a very like volatile state, and showed like a lot of like weakness and growth and self-doubt and belief. And then there's a role that I played that was the complete opposite, that I co-wrote, produced, and played and did a lot of the choreography. It's called EO6. Franklin Carpio directed it. It turned out beautifully, where I'm a character that's really just fighting my way out of like this mob scene, and I'm just not quitting. And I love how that they contrast so much. My dream roles, well, not dream roles, I take that back, because I don't say my dream is. I always set things as a goal, because dream is too floofy.
Yeah.
Goals are more solid,
More tangible. Yeah.
more tangible.
Sure.
Princess Zelda, because she is a warrior, you know.
Yeah.
Sheik Zelda, she suits up and goes and fights for the kingdom. I absolutely love Zelda. That is definitely one of my main goal roles. And Laura Croft, I just think that's an incredible character.
Yeah.
I would love to play her in a live action. And I would love to be in Mortal Kombat. I figure if I continue to work hard and continue auditioning, you know,
Yeah.
doors will keep opening up.
Absolutely. Or do you do your own stunts?
I do. Yeah, so with my martial background, so I'm not solely a stunt woman. That is not what I am. And a lot of people have asked me to be like a stunt coordinator or a stunt woman for their actor, and I am an actress. I just happen to have a martial background that I can do my own stunts, though I will not do fire,
Okay.
which I was asked, but I won't.
Any specific reason why?
Well, because it's scary.
But these freaking knives aren't like.
Significantly less scary.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Fire is a little less controllable.
Fire is, yeah. I won't.
Okay.
But I ride horses. I've done horse riding in a film of mine, and I will do other stunts. I'll do wire work for characters that I play, but
You have your limits.
I do. As we
That's
all
a good
do.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what separates a good actor from a great actor?
Passion, determination, will, the willingness to continue to learn and grow no matter how good you think you might be.
What's the hardest thing about acting? What do you struggle with the most?
I've never really been asked that. I guess when you're doing long days on set, keeping the energy level up, high energy. I think that's one of the hardest things on extremely exhausting, physically demanding sets. I would definitely say that. though, like throughout filming, I'm always like very high energy, on point. It's just I'm honed
It's who
in.
you are.
Yeah.
Can you train for that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What about, I mean, I know you can train for the physical side of things.
Yes.
Can you train your mind to stay focused and concentrated and in that zone of that character?
That is all acting is. Yeah.
Is it exhausting?
It can be. Absolutely. Depending on the type of scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the hardest role you've had?
So the hardest role I had was in EO6, and it wasn't necessarily because of how physically demanding it was. It was because of the point in time that it was. I had just lost my father and dog a few days apart, and then we started shooting a few weeks later. And I just had never experienced any grief like that. But, I did it. It was great. We made a great film. But yeah, that's why it was so difficult, just because of what I was going through.
Do you think if the timing was different, you could have done better?
No,
You think you still
oh,
crushed it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I gave it every ounce I had.
So what else has acting done for you in a positive way?
So it's definitely helped cultivate and nurture a different side of the empathy that I feel for people in general. Understanding different characters and diving into their personalities and why they do what they do has really helped me cultivate and develop such a deeper love and understanding for people who I once may have judged harshly and didn't quite understand why they did what they did, like self-abuse, like if they were partaking in things of that nature. I would just fully reject it and not give them the time of day. And then through the empathy and understanding other characters and just the human experience, it's just cultivated such a deeper understanding of that.
Well, Lydia, this show has done that for me. I've had recovering addicts sitting in your seat. And I admit, I used to have a very strong opinion on those who use drugs or those who smoke or those who XYZ. And now I realize they're just normal people that did things to deal with certain things that they've been through.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it is. They didn't wake up one day saying, guess what? I want to be a drug addict today. No,
Right.
They were trying to numb themselves from something. And that just happened to be the route that they took. Some people turn to religion. Some people turn to other healthy measures like martial arts, for instance. But others aren't so lucky. So I completely feel you there. Right?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. What else, acting wise, means a lot to you beyond it being a job? Is there something else that drives you to continue to do that rather than, just seeing yourself on film?
Yeah. Since I was a kid, watching films and characters that had depth to them and strength, and just stories of characters that against all odds they persevered and they came through. It just inspired me so much and gave me so much hope. And that's another one of the big reasons why I pursue it.
Do you ever have a hard time disconnecting from the character after a shoot? Like, oh, I'm Lydia again. I'm not this character. Like finding yourself again.
No, but I find myself, like, after I've played characters, I have found myself kind of like playing around, saying things that the character would have said
Okay.
for fun.
Like kind of holding on to their identity a little bit.
Yeah, just for fun, because I mean, all the characters I've played up to this point, I've really enjoyed. They've
That's a
all
good
been
thing.
very fun, yeah.
That would suck if you didn't enjoy it.
I mean, there are characters that I probably wouldn't enjoy playing,
Yeah.
but
I like that.
yeah.
Top 3 films for you.
This is so hard. So hard.
What kind of movies do you enjoy the most?
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
start
that's
there.
better. It's too hard.
You're like, ouch, this hurts.
It hurts so bad. It does. I love action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi. I love those.
Well, you mentioned
Comedy.
Tomb Raider,
Comedy.
comedy. Who's your favorite comedian?
Oh, okay. I don't have a favorite, but I love Jim Carrey, Jack Black, Rob Schneider. I absolutely love them.
The outgoing, boisterous
Love.
ones. High
Love.
energy.
So high energy. So high energy because I can relate so much.
That's so crazy. And then you have like the Will Ferrells who can be as dry as sand. But they can also turn up the heat a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? You a Ferrell fan?
I don't mind his films.
I don't mind.
They're funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I can see you in like Jim Carrey type.
My God.
Look, he is annoying at times, but he can do
Oh.
amazing things with his body and
He's hilarious. Goals. I'm gonna be in a film with Jim Carrey and Jack Black.
what's your favorite Jim Carrey film?
Ugh, favorite? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't have a favorite. I love them all. I seriously
Easy
do. But you
answer.
know what? Liar, liar is so funny.
It is.
But oh my god, him and Sonic, I was like, is that Jim Carrey? Like, whoa. It was such a different energy. I absolutely loved him though in it. Yeah, just saying.
Jack Black's a hoot.
Jack Black.
Is that even a hoot?
He's such a hoot.
How
I love
old
him.
am I right now?
He's such a hoot. No, I'm gonna go on the red carpet and jump around like him.
He's
I
nuts.
am. I love it. I love the energy and just being yourself, like just freely expressing yourself.
You nailed it.
Who cares
they're
what
not
other people
afraid
think?
of what anybody else
Yeah,
thinks.
because nobody doing better than you is going to judge you for your progress.
Yeah.
No one. No one who's ever achieved anything more than you or same as you. People are always going to encourage you and uplift you.
I'm the opposite of them.
What?
I'm so afraid of what people think of me. Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, we all are at times, but
Well, I am all the time. This isn't like a part-time thing. This is all the time.
I think it's natural though. It's so human.
Well, I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to not care what people think. I want to be able to be silly and stupid and stumble over my words and just not care.
Well, I think it takes practice. Just practice. I mean, as extroverted and outgoing as I am, I still it still hurts when I do hear things that aren't positive. It still hurts when
Sure.
I'm misunderstood, but there's only one you in the whole world. Like, how special are you?
I never really looked at it like that. Yeah.
There's only one you.
What's the worst criticism you've heard about yourself?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I started putting my martial arts on my Instagram and just freely expressing myself. Just, martial arts is so many people focus on the martial aspect and then they forget about the art aspect. We're artists.
Yeah.
Freely express yourself. And so about a little over a year ago, I started putting myself out there and I started getting tens of thousands of views, which right now my Instagram is glitching and I'm going through tech support because
Okay.
the views aren't matching up, right? But I had to limit my comment section because people who, they had never trained in Wing Chun, they had absolutely, very little knowledge on it, were just berating me. Just, woohoo, let's go to town. Just keyboard warrior, let's go.
Like, what could they possibly say about it?
I don't know. Anything from you're a woman, women can't do martial arts, to you suck, or to you're doing you're doing your tonsil wrong, even though, or like you're not tall enough, or like you're just anything and everything. And so I was just like, okay, we're going to limit that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So you just turn the comments off?
So I restricted the comments. Okay. I'm excited to taste this water.
I mean, it tastes like water.
Water is my favorite drink. Water does not all taste the
Said
same.
no one ever. So how would you rate that water?
Very clean.
Yeah?
Yeah, unexpectedly. To people that are non-water lovers.
Unexpectedly.
To the
I'm
water.
offended.
So
You think I'm serving sewer water up in here?
No, up in here? No. So unexpectedly, because the last water I had that was in a glass, my taste buds were searching for like minerals or something more, and this was just perfect. I wasn't searching for something more.
Damn. I'm going to never look at this water the
Hot
same
damn,
again.
you got
It's
the special
perfect.
water
It's
in the
perfect
blue glass bottle. Let's go. Let's go. That was great.
So what's your... Being water is your favorite drink.
Too much about water. Oh man, I really drink that water.
What's, other than Saratoga, what's your favorite water?
My
If you're going to walk into a convenience
Okay.
store, what are you picking up?
Okay, my favorite water is Premio, but it comes in the 5-gallon jugs. But if I go to a store, my go-to water is Dasani
Okay.
or Fiji.
Fiji. I was
Well,
hoping
more
you were going to
so
say Fiji.
Dasani.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the taste differences that you're hunting for?
Oh, they just taste different. I'm not really hunting. It just is what tastes the best.
Do you drink tap water?
No.
You're too bougie for that. I'm glad I didn't
I guess
serve you
I
tap
am.
water like I
Yeah.
did before I got this water.
Yeah.
You would have been like, ugh.
Ew, take that away. Take it away.
So when you're at a restaurant,
Yes.
what do you ask for?
Water. Just water.
Like out of the tap?
Just any water they
Really?
have.
Okay.
I'm not that bougie. I mean, just slightly.
As long as it's clear.
Just clear, clean, lovely water.
I've never talked about water this much in my entire life.
Well, there you go. You're
Probably never will
welcome.
again. Yeah.
You're welcome.
And you're welcome too.
And you're welcome too.
So other than you loving water,
Yeah.
in acting, in Wing Chun,
Yes.
what else do you love?
I love people. I love people. I know it's probably weird. You probably don't hear that often, but I love people.
Is there anyone that you judge? So you love people so much,
Yeah.
right? I know there's good people and there's bad people. Doesn't take a genius to know that. But would you say that you give everyone a chance?
Yes, I do. To a fault. Yeah.
Has that ever gotten you in
Yes.
trouble?
Yes.
How?
Yes. Well, I tend to believe that everyone's just doing the best they can with what they have, and I work really hard to just understand that we're all going through something. We're all battling something, and if you can go through life knowing that it can, like, I like to give people like a lot of grace, because we're all going through something and we're all going through a hardship. And so that said, I have learned in a multitude of situations that there are malicious people that do just get satisfaction out of intentionally hurting people. They're out there. That sucks. It's just a reality, and I've unfortunately have given some people like that too much grace, and it wasn't.
Backfired.
Yeah, it was just very painful.
Yeah. Do you learn from that? Does that put you on edge?
So I certainly learn from it. It makes me want to be, it makes me just, it doesn't put me on edge, but I just like to see people for who they are. And if I learn that's the kind of person they are, which is super rare that I
Encounter
someone that is just intentionally malicious, but I just will avoid them. They don't get my time of day.
Okay.
No thanks.
So what does your friend circle look like as an adult?
Very small, but I have the most incredible support group. Everyone who is in my circle, they're all extremely loving, passionate, compassionate people who they all love learning and growing, and they're the people that they'll be there for you on your down days, but they're the people that will be there for you on your up days too. And I've learned that's more rare. That is actually more rare, because I mean, it's so odd, but you know, when something good is happening,
it should be celebrated.
And you put that out there, and then you notice, well, you know, I've lost a lot of people I had perceived as friends because of pursuing my career and
success.
And so
you know what that stems from?
Insecurity.
Jealousy.
And it's so sad, because if they would just embrace themselves and love themselves and know that there is enough success for all of us, and being happy for someone else, you know, it's not going to limit their own success and their own growth. And, you know, if they work at it, they can too.
Yeah.
It's just that makes me super sad, because if they would just embrace their own beauty and know that it's not limited. Success isn't limited. But yeah, ultimately my group is extremely encouraging and supportive and uplifting, and like when I'm down, they will be like, "Hey Lydia, I see it. You're going to get through this. You're strong, badass, warrior. You've made it through everything you've made it through so far. You're going to get through this."
Yeah.
They're just genuine people.
Are you accepting applications for new friends?
Yes, always.
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 What are the prerequisites of a friend for Lydia?
I've never really
Fill in the blanks.
I've
Multiple
never
choice.
really set out a prerequisite
questionnaire?
list. I just want people to, you know, if you're
a decent human being,
you know,
you're not asking for much.
yeah.
But
Really?
that question probably made you look like you were a stuck up, snobby little like.
Yeah. What
can
are
only
the
be my friend if-
prerequisites? Well,
Sorry, your hair's not the right color,
you know,
and I don't have any, so
you have to be
I'm
a
out of luck.
superhero, a pure and total superhero.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's it.
Sounds easy enough.
Easy enough, right?
Fun
You would
fact,
think.
I just retired as being Captain America.
Whoa.
I used to play Captain America for different events. For about 15 years, I did it. And I hung up the shield officially. I did my last event last Saturday.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Hence, you can't see it on camera, but I have some Captain America stuff.
Did you see me looking at it?
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
It'll always be a part of me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You are a superhero. So does that mean we're friends?
Yeah, if that's on the application, I
passed
check the box.
there. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. You
Well,
heard it here.
I
We're
mean-
friends.
Honestly, like the two cute dogs, really that passed, but the superhero part, we can include
just
that
completely over the edge with that one.
too. Yeah.
I like it. So what does someone have to do to get eliminated from your friend circle? Like, you seem very accepting of all walks of life and all people. Like, what's one thing that's just like, sorry, I just can't with this?
Yeah, so that's something that I actually had to set boundaries with in the last year and a half of my life, because I would go to the ends of the earth for my friends. Okay, I would go to the ends of the earth and back for my friends, and they know it. But like when I've had friends that didn't want to be friends with me anymore because of my career and because of my fitness journey, I kind of tend to be oblivious. Kind of like, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to hang out? And they like keep saying no, 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 no. And literally, like, it takes me a long time. It has taken me a long time to get the hint. But, you know, that's something, I guess that's something that I've learned to draw the line with. Also, if you're just mean to people, it's sucks.
Sounds like a good reason to let someone go.
Yeah. Or if, like, I've had people, you know, make snide remarks about my career as an actress and my fitness journey, and it's just unnecessary, and I don't welcome that in my life, not with where I'm going in my career, not with who I am as a person. And if they can't grow with me, if it's a burden to watch someone work hard to succeed and achieve goals that they set, then oh well.
I don't think an opinion matters if what you're doing does not affect them. Right? If your career is not affecting this friend, why does that opinion matter to them? Right? I don't understand why people feel the need to be able to dictate what someone does with their life just because of their own thoughts and beliefs.
And that's okay. Like, I mean, honestly, I used to be, I would say judgmental, but from the aspect of survival. Like, I knew I couldn't be around certain people because they would put my life at risk. So I would avoid them. I just had to cut the line.
At risk how?
Like death.
Wow, that's an extreme risk.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you severed that tie.
Yeah.
I
I grew up in a very rough place.
keep forgetting that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget.
Well, that's a perfect example
fine.
of judgment, right?
Yeah.
Like, unless you know what someone's background is, you don't know why they're acting a certain way
No.
or why they're making certain decisions. You know, you're kind of back on your heels a lot because of what you dealt with. But in some ways, you're like, it kind of amazes me that you are so accepting with what you've been through. Yeah.
I don't want this to sound like a rain cloud or super dark.
No.
It's just how it is.
That's your
It's how it
reality.
was.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'm in a very healthy environment now.
Good.
I have very good friends. I have an extremely healthy mindset. I'm stronger than I've ever been. I wouldn't change anything. And I really hope that I can inspire a lot of people and continue inspiring people to persevere.
Your positivity alone is inspiring. And I know there's going to be someone out there, she's too positive. That's so annoying. It's like,
I don't care. It's whatever.
but it's like, how can that be a problem? But people are going to find a problem in it.
It's really what you focus on. And trust me, like I've struggled with very, very severe depression.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You learn, you grow through it. You you build strength, you overcome, you fall, you rise again, you fall again. That's all progress is, really.
Yeah. I want to step back to the friend circle subject real fast. And I asked you a question that might have come off as you're stuck up or you're very picky with who your friends are. It's healthy to narrow down that friend circle, especially as an adult, I'd say, because, you know, you've determined what your goals are. You've determined the type of person you are, what your morals are, and the wrong friend could throw you off course entirely. Would you agree?
Not me.
Okay.
I would agree, but I'm at a point where I've cut everyone out who would have tried.
Do you miss any of them?
Of course.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance of getting back, reconnecting?
No.
Okay. Because that danger still lies there.
It's just in accepting me for who I am, and if you're not, if you don't like me, cool. That's okay. I don't care. But I'm not going to force someone to accept me and like me.
And you shouldn't.
Nobody should.
Yeah.
That's the end of story.
I'd like to hear from you. Have you had to cut friends out before because maybe they are being too judgmental towards you or they're not liking your success? Comment below because I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
So how big is fitness to you, Lydia? Why did you get into fitness?
Massive. Okay, so I got into fitness because of just being totally vulnerable and translucent. I lost my father and dog a few days apart. I became extremely unhealthy mentally with grief, just completely overwhelmed. Like, my dog was my world, and my dad was obviously my dad. I was really lucky to get close to him the last 2 years of his life. But I was bedbound. I was depressed. I was bedbound for several months, and my husband said, we need to get you and moving your body. We got to do something. And so I ended up, oh my God, I could not have found a more incredible gym with more incredible trainers. So I really got into fitness for my health. And I could have never imagined that it would make me, like, I would have never imagined that I would have developed the physical and psychological strength that I have in, like, the last year and a half of working very diligently on myself.
Would you say that fitness saved your life?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You were in a dark place.
Yeah.
And who knows how further deep you could have fallen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I sent you that picture. You see the before and after.
Yeah.
The one I was depressed. Like, I was just so depressed. And then, you could see the progress.
Well, yeah, it's like there was, I don't want to say you were kind of lifeless in a way.
I was, though. Like, anyone that actually, and this is something that, like, she's like my other mother. She's been a life mentor to me. She said, just the difference in your eyes, in your appearance, your face. She's like, so huge. Just so much healing has happened. I never realized how, obviously, like, I just never realized how much, like, inner work comes from fitness. Like, so I lost, like, 10 pounds and I gained so many pounds of muscle. Like we do these body scans and I've been gaining muscle and I've never looked this way ever in my life. But I never realized the grit and the discipline and the perseverance that it really takes to get to a point like where I'm at right now in fitness. It's hard.
It is hard.
But I'm
Well,
lucky.
especially when you're starting at the point where you were at. It's like you're starting from ground zero.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that they feel like it's probably too late to get healthy. Maybe they've gotten to a certain weight and they're like, what's the point now? But it's never too late. And you weren't morbidly obese or anything, but you were in your own rock bottom and you found your way out. And you can do the same thing. And again, this isn't all about fitness, but my last guest, Kim, she was 415 pounds at her heaviest. And she's lost over 150 pounds. And she's in her 40s.
See, that's incredible.
You know?
Yeah.
And the health benefits, the physical are great, and seeing the number on the scale go down is great, but the health benefits that go with it, the mental health benefits that go with it, how has it helped you mentally?
Mentally? Oh my gosh. Just in every way.
You're a different person,
I'm
right?
a completely different person. And like I had trained martial arts for well over a decade and still like the fitness aspect, like fitness is such a huge part of being a martial artist. It's such a massive part of being a martial artist. And I have developed such a different mentality in persevering and just fighting through that pain to get to the goal, like fighting through that pain.
That look you're giving me is terrifying. Like I can see that fight. Like it's in there. Yeah.
Oh, you're into fitness?
Yes.
Oh, you know. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
You have to fight
The
for
fact
it.
that you asked me that is making me feel a certain way. I mean, you
The
can't
friend
tell.
thing.
Can't tell.
Oh my god. You see my guns?
Yeah.
Can you see my? You can't.
No, I see them. Yeah, they're in there.
They're real. They're real. I worked on them.
We're gonna put them to the test when we arm wrestle.
Oh yeah, because force against force is the best route.
Are you into fitness? I can't tell. Bitch.
That isn't even what I said. You misperceived that.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Maybe I did.
You did. You really did.
Just comes, look,
You really did.
I'm insecure.
You jumped off the bridge
I
with
did.
that one.
I'm like, oh, what's the point now?
Fuck, you're in the, well,
You're
like
right.
people are at different levels. Like you're into fitness or you're into fitness.
I dabble.
They're at different levels.
Yeah, they're hard.
See? You jumped off the
I
bridge.
did.
Don't jump.
I do
You
that.
don't need to jump with me.
Yeah. There's not too many of you out there.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.
I would think.
I genuinely appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's too many wishy-washy people out there that they are friends on demand or friends, I'd say with benefits, not those kind of benefits. But yeah, it's like you're only a friend if you're getting something out of it, right?
Yeah.
I've had those.
We all have.
I'm always helping out, but it's never reciprocated. You know what I mean? Like, but I keep doing it. Because I'm a pushover.
No, you're just a nice person. You're just a good person. That's difficult.
That's like accent number 9.
I know. It is.
I should have an accent counter.
Yeah, I love it.
What's your favorite accent?
Oh,
You're good at a Brit.
thank you. I watched a lot of Harry Potter.
Is that what you blame for it?
I do, actually. This is going to sound so weird, but when
You
I...
have to wait. You have to answer with a British accent.
All right, this is gonna sound so weird, but when I was a kid, I would literally get into arguments and start doing a British accent because I literally, like, unintentionally doing a British accent because I literally listen to it all the time. It's literal.
So, okay. I have to get serious here for a second.
Okay.
I just did the ancestry thing.
Yes.
The DNA,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Okay. Before doing that, I've had an affinity for Brits, for England, for Ireland,
Yeah.
for Scotland. Something about those cultures makes me feel comfortable. Could never put my finger on it.
Are you
Okay.
Scottish? What
I'm
are you?
all of those. And I was so excited to see that. I was just like, that explains everything. It's because it's inside of me, right? That's my blood.
Let's go. Are you
Yeah.
ready?
What are we doing?
Okay,
We
you
going to
ready?
Britain?
You want to know what I am?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to explain this. Do you know what Black Irish is? No, you don't. Okay, so Irish is red hair, green eyes, pale skin. Black Irish is the dark hair, blue eyes, pale skin. I'm Black Irish, Scottish, German, Italian.
I'm all of those except for Italian. I do have some German also.
Yeah.
Welsh, English, Scottish, Irish, a little German. All the
you.
white things.
Look at you.
Yeah. It's cool to find out.
It was cool for me because true story. My siblings would always make fun of me because I looked different. Okay. Well, I am the middle child of 5. Smack in the middle. 2 older, 2 younger. And they would always make fun of me because I didn't look like them. They're all blonde with blue eyes, except one of them has brown hair, but she has brown eyes. But they would always make fun of me and tell me that I was adopted. There's nothing wrong with being adopted. But as a kid, I would be like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then I'd ask my mom, and then she would tell me that I was my aunt's kid.
Oh my! That's
Because
mean.
I resemble my aunt.
Did you? All of your siblings? You have the same mother and father?
All right, we're going to get into it. So, we all have the same mom, but, okay, ready? My oldest sister has one dad. My immediate older sister and I share the same dad, a different dad. And then my 2 younger siblings have a different dad. So 3 dads. You just, like, my mom grew up very, very differently. And it just ties into you don't quite know what people have gone through and their life experiences. Like, you just don't know. And so initially, you know, people who have had like a more positive like upbringing, childhood, they're like, what? And they can't quite, more often, they don't quite fathom that. But when you separate that and see how many like people grow up in rough places and people don't always have the same kind of lives, and some people's lives are more rough than others, you know. But yeah, so I just turned into something comedic.
I mean,
You gotta laugh about it.
yeah. That is kind of funny.
I'm just saying.
It is.
Yeah.
Moving on to arm wrestling.
Oh, okay. So I would
What's your
never force
excuse?
against force.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, force against force. The bigger mass will always most likely win.
Yeah.
And men are stronger, upper body. But I'll still go. We can
This
go.
is part of the show.
Let's go.
It's for
Part of the
entertainment.
show.
Yeah.
Let's make this the most entertaining arm wrestle imaginable.
How we plan on doing that?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna
We'll
find
figure it out.
Oh, let's move.
Give me one of those.
You're not gonna hold this while we arm wrestle.
Put yours up. Look at me seriously.
How are we gonna load it in?
Thumbnail.
Ooh!
See what I did there?
Everyone thumbnails with blades too.
I mean,
They're so beautiful.
they really are. They're heavier than I thought.
They're actually lighter than the typical Wing Chun blades.
If I was into fitness, maybe they wouldn't be so heavy.
You know, if you didn't jump off that bridge, maybe they wouldn't be so heavy.
All right.
What?
Lydia.
Hold on.
Wait, I need to do that too.
Just did that surely for entertainment. Ready?
Start when you're ready.
Okay.
Go ahead. So you say you're not a goal setter, or
No.
you're not a dreamer. What is your next big goal that you haven't accomplished yet? What are you pulling? Oh, you're trying all the tricks.
You know what I would actually do?
What?
I would actually pull you towards me and then make room to go for your face or your throat.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what's
Oh,
with
okay.
that being said, what's the next goal for Lydia?
Okay. So I have actually been submitting internationally, auditioning for an agent who will represent me as an actor. And so one of my big goals is getting a good agent.
Are they hard to find?
I don't know if they're hard to find, but in the last couple months, I've probably submitted over, let's say 60 different ones, and they say it could take 30 to 90 days to hear back from like the good ones, like the more prominent ones.
So I'm guessing they're looking for a specific type of person, correct? Physically, talent wise, as far as the roles you've played. Like, do you have a portfolio?
Oh yeah. So actually I have a website. It's lydialeanne.com. It's Lydialeanne. My name is spelled a little differently. That like my resume is on there. My entire my actor's reel, I just updated it. Everything is on there. My headshots, different shots. Yes. Yes.
So if you land one of those roles, would you feel like you've found success, or are you always going to be searching for more?
I feel like, I mean, with any career, I feel like we're always gonna want to progress to more. I just think it's about growth. I just think like let's say I get cast in a fairly larger role and I do that and it's successful. I definitely would just continue seeking roles that are challenging and liberating. So.
Do you define that as never being satisfied?
I think it comes with a mentality of like, I'm just a high achiever. And I think a lot of people who are considered to be very successful have like a mentality that they're gonna just keep growing and progressing and doing better and doing more. I don't like to look at it as never satisfied. I just like to look at it as I'm just extremely highly driven and passionate.
Okay. And I didn't mean that in a negative way. I meant that more as, there's always more, right?
Yeah.
Not like, I'm never satisfied because my life sucks. And like, right.
No.
Do another hair flip.
Don't do it.
That's not what I meant by satisfied.
Yeah.
In that
What do you mean?
definition. I just meant, so there's a phrase, proud but never satisfied. That to me means I am proud of what I've accomplished, but I'm not satisfied in that I know that I'm capable of more. Is that you?
To an extent. I also feel like there are parts of me that, as an actor, I haven't even had the opportunity to tap into yet. So if I would say I'm capable of more, like, I'm ready.
Yeah. I love it.
Open the doors.
Accent number 10.
Oh, no, that was 15, right?
Probably.
Or 12. Or 13.
Well, Lydia, do you have any questions for me before we close out?
Oh, well, you obviously work out. That's for sure after that arm wrestle. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's for sure. I
That's amazing.
questions for you. Hold on.
Yep. Hydrate with your favorite beverage.
With my new favorite beverage. Sartoga. Sartoga.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I have no idea.
It should
but
be.
it felt like it should
That feels
be.
right.
Sartoga.
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 Since 1872.
Natural spring.
Do you see that?
What?
I didn't think water was invented back then.
They know what they're doing.
I'm going to send you home with a bottle.
Great. I don't know. I had a lot of I mean this has been so fun. I learned that you definitely work out. I'm just gonna pull you back up from that
Thanks.
bridge.
'Cause I was dangling.
You were, I know. Pulling you
Even
back
still.
up.
Yep.
No. I'm reeling you in.
I'm up.
You're up.
I'm back on the bridge.
Great.
I'm on it.
You're on it.
and I'm
on the
walking off of it.
bridge.
I'm safely off the bridge.
Safe.
I'm off the bridge.
Safe.
Thank
I
you.
got you
I
there
appreciate that.
safely. I don't know. I
got
can tell
nothing.
you enjoy what you do. It's
I do.
fun.
I do.
Yeah, I love that. I love when people do what they love.
It's essentially what you love, right? You love people. And I love talking to people
Yeah.
and hearing their stories. And I love that you have the courage to share your story with everybody else. You just told the whole world your story. Not everybody can do that. And I've had plenty of people turn down the opportunity to sit there.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
for different reasons.
Yeah.
Either they don't think they're interesting, either they think that, I want some dirt.
Dirt. Want dirt?
I do like a spicy story.
Ready for some spice? Do you want some real spice? You can cut this and put it wherever you want. But I will share this. This is something that I have never talked about publicly. I was a very sick kid. I actually almost died a few times. And one of the main situations that I had dealt with was the doctors said it was like very severe asthma, but the first time I had a severe episode, I was a little kid. I was playing princess with my cousins. I was maybe 5, maybe 6, and I was at my dad's house, and we all went inside and everyone was going to sleep, and my throat closed completely. I couldn't breathe at all. And the EMTs, they came and they were incredible. In the ambulance on the way to the hospital, I remember just thinking, well, if this is the end of my life, I just want to tell my dad I love him, and that's it. And I couldn't speak because when your throat's completely closed, you can't speak. And I survived. They saved my life. I'm so grateful. I have so much respect for EMTs and doctors. And then I had continued to be hospitalized several times throughout my childhood for the same kind of thing. And there was a point where the doctor said either you're going to grow out of this or you're going to deal with this your whole life. So I actually, when I heard that, I actually started like meditating and doing breathing exercises, and I ended up growing out of it fully and completely by age 14. Yeah, so I don't really take my health for granted.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I shared something with you before we started filming about my health scare. Yeah. You know, and I heard from every doctor and every nurse, but you're too young. You're too fit to be dealing with this.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're never immune to health problems.
Yeah.
As healthy as you think you are. So.
Yeah, I definitely tend to not take anything for granted, and I work very hard to count my blessings, and I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lydia, it's been awesome talking to you. You're very entertaining.
Oh.
I didn't know we were.
I'm gonna try it again. Here we go.
Take two.
Take two.
Like the video, because how could you not after all of that and the 117 accents? Watch one of these episodes up here, up here, up here. Watch one of these episodes up here. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next episode of Barbells and Bourbon. Peace. That was so fun.